Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. On today's show, we discuss landlords banning Trump supporters, bags of fresh air being sold in China, and we ask you, would you have sex with an android? All that and more on today's Prime Show. And the show starts now. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this pissed off episode 12 of the Prime Show. My name is David Sieber, also known as Seabeard over on Twitter. And next to me, as always, is Mr. Aaron Kirby, smiling like Jared Leto. How you doing?
Hi, everybody.
Why? Why are you doing that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Something different.
Something different.
Shaking it up.
Alrighty. Well, as you heard from the top, we'll just jump into the checklist.
I have not heard these topics. These are fresh topics brought by David, so all of my reactions will be legitimately real.
Will be legitimately canned and released on time.
Yes.
Alrighty. So I'm going to throw this one out here first. This comes straight from the HuffPost. The HuffPo. God, we can't do one podcast without the dog destroying something. It's impossible.
That was fucking excellent. And then he just looks over at us like,
Yeah.
hey, look what I did.
Nice. Oh my god. Alright. So anyway, comes from the Huffington Post. The HuffPo. The Hufflepuff.
It's a different franchise.
Yeah. And it goes as such. A headline goes, "This landlord welcomes dogs, but not Trump supporters." So a Colorado landlord is willing to accept any dogs with good enough references, but no references will convince him to rent to a Donald Trump supporter.
Wait, so the dogs Donald Trump supporters?
No.
So the dogs are like, go Trump?
They're using it as a reference. They're saying that they'll let in dogs if you have good references for this house. But they won't let in anyone that supports Donald Trump or votes for him or anything like that.
So we're talking about humans.
Yes.
Okay.
So it says Mark Holmes is putting his foot down when it comes to fans of the Republican presidential frontrunner, the Grand Junction Sentinel reports.
Was that Junction?
Junction. Is that what I said?
I don't know what the fuck he said, but I don't think it was Junction.
All right. Holmes, who rents out the downstairs portion of his Grand Junction home, listed the following ad on the Nickel, a classifieds site. Downtown apartment, 2 bedrooms, furnished, or use your things, organic garden space, hot tub, great backyard, dogs allowed if they have references as good as yours. If voting for Trump, do not call.
Wow.
Yeah. He says, quote, "Trump is preaching hate, and he's preaching a lot of venom, spit, and vinegar." Holmes told the Sentinel on Saturday, "And I live in the top part of a house, and I don't want anybody that even thinks that Donald Trump can be a good president to live in my home."
Are you just reading the article?
That was the article.
That was
short.
pretty much the article?
Well, because
okay.
it's
real short?
It's real short.
Okay.
But the fact that... The other thing is they said, well, is it illegal against the Fair Housing Act? Apparently no, because discrimination against political views is not in the Fair Housing Act, so you can discriminate against...
do whatever the hell you want.
Apparently,
it's not
when
a
it comes
race,
to that.
gender, religion, whatever.
A race of Trumps. They just come out and they're just China. They all have the hair.
They've already made like Nazi references.
It's like a flock of seagulls and just
Hitler references. So I guess him having an Aryan race wouldn't be too far off.
They extinguished the Trumps. Migrating flock of Trumps.
So it doesn't give the landlord's political views. Like, it doesn't say he's a Hillary supporter.
No, it doesn't say who he supports. He just clearly, clearly not a Trump supporter. Though.
Well, clearly, maybe he's just like a pissed off Ted Cruz supporter or something.
But no, so he's clearly not a fan. But I think it's just really ridiculous that you're gonna What the fuck's the person gonna do? Like, he supports Trump, so he's gonna immediately like just vandalize your house or just fuck up your property. He supports Trump. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah. I don't know.
But, I mean,
people get crazy over ideology. I mean, you've seen the protesters and the violence and stuff recently at Trump's
This is the
speeches and whatnot.
This is the biggest, most comical, most over-the-top election I think I've ever seen. And people debate that. They're like, every election's ridiculous.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's comical as, like, horrifyingly terrible.
That's why it's funny to me, is that it's so freaking...
Yeah, but this is the next 4 years of our country.
It's funny until it's real.
Yeah.
Until it's decided and you're like...
This is like...
I didn't know that ballot was real. I thought it was going to a TV show.
This is like when everybody was voting for Sanjaya on American Idol because they thought it was funny as shit. And then they're like, shit, he's in the top 3. Yeah. We need to fucking vote his ass off. It's the same thing with Trump. They're like, oh, he will never be the nominee. Fuck, he's the nominee.
It's going to be bad.
I think that's my second F-bomb in this show. There's going to be more.
You know there's going to be people that are going to be voting for Trump because they think it's funny and they think no one else is voting for him.
Oh, everybody's voting.
But you know there's a large portion of them going to be like, it's going to be funny. And be like, I voted. And then like they'll draw a picture of Trump on the back.
They keep saying like as the candidates dropped out, he'd do worse and worse.
Yeah.
But the candidates are dropping off and he's still winning.
Yeah.
He's still winning states. So I think that line of logic is flawed there. So anyway.
God. All right. So... Next up, I'll pull it up real quick.
Also,
here.
Not heard by me previously.
What?
This article.
Oh, yes. From the mirror.co.uk. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, leave the yawn in.
Yeah, sorry. I'm tired.
Fucking yawn.
So, bags of fresh air on sale in China to combat pollution problem. So it says vendors have been dishing out mementos at a spot popular with hikers in the country's southern Guangdong province. So it's literally just plastic bags full of air. Hopefully not bagged as the hikers go by. Like they just flash it through the air and tie it up and hand it to them.
This is pure filterized air. This is straight. This is not tap air.
They just put a giant plastic bag over a tree, collect all that.
This is mountain spring air. Straight from the mountain spring.
This is partially a joke, partially a real thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have a huge pollution problem in China.
Yeah, they have a huge pollution problem over there. Like, during the Olympics and stuff, was it 2012? 2008. They had to fire off different... rockets and stuff like that to like dilute the pollution and stuff, so that way they could see like all the aerial fireworks and stuff like that for the opening ceremonies. Wow. And all that stuff they were trying to do. And you see people wearing masks all the time. Like they have a meter over there on their news that says, you know, if you have to wear a mask or not that day, and most people do every day. So it is really bad. But I was telling you, this is kind of like they made a joke about, you know, it's like the Lorax, the movie, the Dr. Seuss Lorax, where people were buying airs in a can. Yeah. It's the exact same thing. So
the article also says the bagged up fresh air, quote unquote, can either be taken home to enjoy or enjoyed right away. Can you pick me up some bags of fresh air?
I want to picture somebody like buying a bag of air on the street corner and then like dropping into a seedy back alley and then just be like, oh yeah, that's the stuff. Oh, man. And then like a cop comes by, hey, what the hell are you doing over there? You sucking air?
Apparently though, they were actually doing really well. A lot of people who had escaped the city to go up on this hiking trail dished out lots of cash to actually buy this air. I didn't see on here necessarily how much they were selling these bags of air for.
It doesn't say where the air's from. Like it's not like just repopulated Chinese air, is it?
I don't see that, but it says they actually paid unpolluted air. The big bags of air cost 30 renminbi. I don't know how to pronounce that. Small bags were 10. So it comes out to being big bags were 3 pounds if you want to convert it to
it's like $6.
Yeah, and then small bags were 1 pound.
Yeah, like a dime bag.
It says the villagers claim that the fresh air is personally collected from the heart of the mountain, and tourists ate it up by buying bag after bag of air, which proved a luxury on the smoggy day.
You're killing the mountain. You're stealing his air.
Oh, and they had flower petals in them to make the whiff of air even more pleasant.
I had read an article very similar to this a little while back, and I thought that they said that it actually was getting shipped in from somewhere. On the article that I read, I thought they were saying
Yeah,
it
it's
was
being shipped in from the heart of the mountain.
Well, no, but I mean, I thought it was I remember it was being shipped in from another country.
Oh.
Or something, so...
It says villagers would make several times more if they exported the clean air into the cities. So it'll be like drug dealers selling bags of fresh air with flower
that's what I'm
petals.
saying. Can I get a dime bag of air, please?
Can I get a dime bag of air?
Yeah.
All right. So there's that. That's all we got for the checklist.
What is that?
Short checklist for today.
It's a checklist. It's not even really a list.
The check sticky note.
Yeah, it's like a postie.
Check postie. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, moving on to our main topic here. Aaron brought this one up. I'll let you go and lead it off. All you, buddy.
Alrighty.
All you, baby boy. I believe in you.
Well, then let me do it.
I am.
Yeah? Alright.
I gotta intro you first.
Okay. What are you up? You my hype man?
Here's Double A Ron. Find him over on Twitter at... I don't remember your Twitter.
Yeah, it's Aaron Kirby 09.
Aaron Kirby 09.
I think.
Talking about sex robots.
I don't know. I haven't been on my Twitter in a long
Yeah, he doesn't.
I
put up your Twitter handle in the description all the time, but you never freaking use it.
Yeah,
so
well,
fuck
eventually
you.
I'll use it. So anyway, main topic. This is from Yahoo Style.
Yahoo!
Yeah, that's trademarked. We're gonna get sued now. Thank you.
Sorry.
It says, what do these robots mean for the future of sex? That's correct. Sexbots.
Sexbots.
So at the last SXSW, which is a convention of
South by Southwest.
There was an X in there.
Yeah, it's South by Southwest.
Whatever. Yeah.
I lived in Austin. I know what this shit is.
Okay. Anyway, if you don't know what it is, like David here, it's a week-long, trendy, if not seriously geeky festival of film and culture, panels, and discussions. So basically all the nerds get together is what they're saying, and they say, look what I've been doing. So one of them was Hiroshi Ichiguro, which I've probably butchered that or masterfully said that. I'm not sure. A Japanese inventor, if you hadn't figured that out, and roboticist. He's from the Osaka University. He's a professor there. And he was talking about human-like androids and the role they might fill in society in the near future. And he made a Geminoid, which is a robot in his own likeness, which he basically proceeded to, on the stage, hold a conversation with this robot on the stage with himself, basically. And they say that it was quite convincing. It's got a plastic skull, metal skeleton, silicone skin, all that good stuff. And if you take like a quick glance, you really wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah.
So it's pretty lifelike.
It's got that uncanny valley coming up here.
It's not the first robot he's ever announced at this place either. He had a female android named Repili Q1 Expo, which you would think
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, you would come up with a better name than that. But it can, she, I guess you would say, can respond to touching and all sorts of other stuff. So it's really kind of cool. It's very human-like looking, as they say. And it's... They asked him if, at the convention, like, hey, so, can we fuck it? Basically. In short, like, not in those words, but basically, like, some, like, horny teenage kid probably in the back was like, hey, so can we have sex with this later? And he's like, yeah, we're not going down that way.
It's like Ex Machina. I know what you're thinking, and yes, she has a vagina. He's like, no, I didn't ask that question. He's like, yes, she has a vagina.
One of the reasons why he's building these androids, which I thought was kind of weird, is that Japanese males hate to talk to the shopkeeper in a business because it signals they want to buy something.
Signals.
Even if they were like...
just said. Anyway.
I don't think I said it that way, but okay. But it signals that they want to buy something even if they just have a question.
Uh-huh.
So then the shopkeeper's like, buy.
Yeah.
So they don't want to talk to the shopkeeper, but they'll talk to the android. So they'll be like, you know, hey, you got pants in my size? And the android's like, yes, we do. They're over here. They're in the back. So it's I don't know. I thought anyway. The other robot, which is much more sexbot than this last one, is made by an American robotics, of course. Although you'd think that would be a Japanese like cornerstone.
Well, Japanese have their own.
They have some freaky ass weird game shows
of
and
sexbots,
of sex things. And anyway, but it's an American robotics developer, Dr. David Hansen, and he's head of Hansen Robotics. And he unveiled his android Sophia, which is might be the world's most advanced android yet, and her appearance, which I love this, is a combination of Audrey Hepburn and Hansen's wife. So it's like part his wife, part Audrey Hepburn.
But his wife's thrilled about that.
Yeah. Super realistic, again
part
made...
his ex-wife and part Audrey Hepburn.
Super realistic, again made with silicone skin, and she can perform more than 62 facial expressions. And I'm guessing an O.
All 62 are incredibly creepy.
I'm guessing one of the 62 facial expressions is an O.
Various tightnesses of O.
So, blowjobs are probably in the future for this, I would guess. But she's got cameras in her eyes. She Google Chrome's recognition like stuff. So if it's like talking to your Android basically is talking like the robot. Like if you say like, "Okay Google."
Can you ask Jeeves though?
Yeah.
I want it to be like, well, I'm in the middle of having sex with her.
So you want a male sex bot.
Is this good for you?
You want a male sex bot. Okay. You want to screw the butler.
I want it to be on the spot and answer.
All right, that's cool. But it is, you better start saving your pennies now, boys and girls, because
Mostly boys,
I'm going to guess on this one, yes. The price tag is a whopping $100,000.
You know how many hookers you could buy with that?
At $20 a blow, no pun intended.
Yeah. Just saying, like, get some actual, real, possibly clean.
So again, during his panel, that probably the same teenage boy stood up and was like, "Hey, so can we fuck it?"
I just like to think it's the same guy that goes to all robotic conventions and goes, "Can I stick my penis in it?" And they're like, "I'm demoing an electric toothbrush." No, you can't. It's like, are you sure? If I took the head off of it, could I put mine in?
Sir, this is a sham wow. Get out of here, you freak. But he did actually touch on it and say yes, but there could be ethical implications. And they're unclear. It could be very complicated.
Your family probably won't talk to you anymore.
Well, because it comes down to, it says, this is a direct quote from him, and I want to read this because it's pretty good. Okay. It says, "Do these robots deserve rights, not just against being used for sex work, but against being enslaved for any purpose?" And then it said, he has no plans or intentions of developing Sophia as a potential prototype for a sophisticated sex toy of the future, as it says. We're just sidestepping all the issues for now. We're not going to make sex robots. So he touched on it and said, yes, this could be, in the future something, but we have no plans of making this particular robot a sex robot.
They're really going to make ethical implications for them making this into...
Well, if it
doesn't have actual, responsive
emotions.
Well,
if we do create AI in the future, there's going to be a debate on whether, if it is self-aware, does it deserve the same rights as a human? Does it deserve to be enslaved? Would having sex with a robot that doesn't want to have sex be considered rape? Or, there could be vast implications of this.
There's a movie, and I can't remember what it's called. It'll come to me. Where it's about an AI, a guy who's he's very antisocial, and he gets this new operating system. Everyone gets this operating system. Her, there you go.
Yeah,
You've seen it then.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's a good movie.
For those
Scarlett Johansson, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, I won't spoil it for those of you who I won't spoil it too much of it. I mean, the concept is that he gets this new operating system, and it starts out rather...
Well, it's not just him. It's a whole bunch of people.
It's a whole bunch of people get this. But it starts off as a basic operating system, and that's all it can be if that's all you want it to be.
Right.
But you can, I think it was you can update or upload like bunch of things about yourself.
It learns about you and your preferences and everything, and it learns about the internet.
It evolves to become almost like a real person. And it's an amazing movie. Like I said, I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it's definitely, if you want to get an idea of how AI can evolve from being something that is very impersonal to being something that's very personal by just what information you give it about yourself. It's a very, very interesting movie, but I can understand, I guess, from that perspective, if you're saying once it evolves to that level of an ethical issue.
Right. Well, in that movie, it's just a voice.
It is just a voice.
It's not an android.
Yeah, but
at that point, like Ex Machina.
Yeah, but as you get to like, if you skip to the halfway point of the movie where she's become like she's full fledged, basically like you might as well be talking to your girlfriend on the phone level of like of consciousness. You're not gonna. You'd be careful about what you say to that, even just insulting it. You're not going to go up to her one day and be like, "Hey, fucking bitch,
hey, you look
where's
fat.
The nearest Starbucks?"
Yeah. Hey, you look fat. I'm a disembodied voice, you asshole. Yeah, and you sound kind of fat today.
But you can feel, like, you start to feel for it, and that's what the problem is. When you start to connect to it,
you develop an emotional attachment.
When you start to identify it as not a machine or an AI, you start to identify it as a friend or a colleague.
What's the test? What's the guy?
Ex Machina, and I don't remember what the text
is.
It's
I've watched the movie of him making the first computer too. I can't remember. It's his name. I think it starts with a T.
The Turing test.
Yeah, the Turing test. Yeah.
Turing test.
Yeah. And if it passed the Turing test, can you tell if it's human or not?
Yeah.
Right. Or would it pass as a human?
Yeah, 2 movies if you want to just hear about,
kind of this subject, yes.
Go ahead.
But here's where it gets a little bit darker. It says, in a report published last year by futurologist Dr. Ian Pearson, it was speculated that by 2050, human-robot sex will be more common than human-human sex.
By 2050?
By 2050. And a large axis of his research was pinned on the release of Oculus Rift, a virtual reality headset. So if you haven't seen those are actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
You can wear them on roller coasters, and it shoots off bombs and stuff as you're doing the roller coaster. It was really cool. I saw it on the news.
Yeah.
But anyway, even more disturbing, it says, is that sex robot developer Matt McCullen believes that people will be unaroused by robots that look too closely or that closely resemble humans. And he's quoted, "If you keep it far enough away from super realism, I think you're in a safer territory."
Yeah, it's the uncanny valley issue. If it looks too human and you're aware that it's not human, then it becomes very uncomfortable.
Right. So you want to see a circuit or two here and there, apparently.
Yeah, it's like Ex Machina when she suddenly decides she wants to dress as a human.
Right, she puts on the wig.
And you're like, no, this is no.
Yeah, it's just the actress, but you're like, yeah.
So, but before then, you see her face and you see skin, but you see underneath, you can see all the seams where she's a robot. So. And it's suddenly less uncomfortable,
So, well, if you are willing to pay that $100 or $100,000 price tag, it says, so when do you expect to see the sex robots on the market, he was asked in an interview from The Telegraph. He said, "Why some people will enthusiastically embrace relationship-free robot sex as soon as they can afford one, as early as 2025. It won't have much chance of overtaking sex with humans," again, what previously was stated, "overall until 2050. So they both the people that were asked and talked about this, both stated 2050 as kind of like a future point where robot sex may overtake human sex.
Okay, so let's break off real quick from the article here. Personal question to you: Would you have sex with you get a robot that's a mix between your ex-girlfriend, the hot one?
Oh, I don't want my ex-girlfriend.
And Scarlett Johansson.
I'm over my ex-girlfriend. I don't want to mix of her.
Let's do this.
Harassment.
So,
but yeah,
sex
I
robot
see what
that
you're
looks
saying.
like Scarlett Johansson. Would you have sex with it?
Again, not a huge Scarlett Johansson. She is very pretty though,
okay,
but
fine.
not
Pick
a huge.
But
I know what you're getting at. I don't know, to be honest with you. Right now, sitting here right now, I don't think I would. But if it's standing in front of me, maybe.
Sounds just like her.
Right.
Feels probably just like her. We'll have to ask her husband.
Probably. Until there's a short in the wire and something gets cut off.
Feels damn close enough.
But, okay. Right. I don't know. Honestly, right now, I couldn't see myself doing it.
But why?
I don't know. I just... To me...
Is it the moral thing of, like...
I don't think it's the moral...
It's hard to live that you fucked something that's not real.
No, to me, it's not the moral. It's, like... For me, sex is something more of an emotional thing.
Okay.
Like, it's supposed to be relationship building and all that.
Yeah.
It's not just... Like, for me, it's not just like a, bang and go type sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, if I'm having sex with this robot and I start to develop emotions with this robot... Are they real emotions that I'm getting back in return? And I would always be thinking that, so it would just screw with my mind too much, so I don't think I would.
Okay.
So...
Okay, imagine 20-year-old you. That's would bang anything.
20-year-old
sticking
me...
your dick in a refrigerator
20-year-old
or a
me
toaster.
would be down, like, day one, like they were talking about, where's my $100,000? Here you go. But...
You'd be like, they'd be halfway through building it and you're already fucking her. Like, sir, that's just a light switch. That's not even the robot.
Sir, we make those a factory over. Like, these are light bulbs.
That's a pencil sharpener. Right?
It's pretty sad if yours can fit in a pencil sharpener. Just saying. But here is the twist in the story. They put it right at the end. Feminist groups are looking to quash the production of sex robots out of a very reasonable fear that they will contribute to gender inequality. Here we go. Hold on. Leading ethics Dr. Kathleen Richardson, and this is a quote, "We are not proposing to extend rights to robots. We do not see robots as conscious entities. We propose instead that robots are a product of human consciousness and creativity, and human power relationships are reflected in the production, design, and proposed use of these robots. As a result, we oppose any efforts to develop robots that will contribute to gender inequalities in society." And basically what it is that she's saying, well, men are already supposedly in power. If you take women out of the equation... and they can, have sex with these robots and stuff like that, it's going to create a bigger rift between men and women because we're going to be like, well, we don't need you or something. So it's basically kind of like what it's saying here in the article.
I don't know. I think it's kind of against their whole point. It's like, you can just have robots for sex. What do you need us for? Wasn't the whole reason why you are a feminist? Because you don't want women to be used only for sex? We won't use you for sex. We'll use these robots for sex. We want to be used for sex! Get rid of the robots!
Well, and a lot of the times, and I'm not saying all feminists, but a lot of the times feminists say, like, the world would be better off if we didn't have men. So right there, it would be all women. So
it's women with a bunch of men sex robots.
If men are off having sex with robots, then it would be basically all women, or... could be. So
for the record, men would be pissed off too if suddenly they were like, here's these really affordable men's sex boxes. They'd be like, okay, we're getting together an operation to bomb the men's sex robot factory. You'd see the entire country of men come together to bomb that factory.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
We're sorry for your loss, but I'm available.
Right. I saw this on they did a episode, and I know you've seen this, a Futurama, where Fry gets Lucy Liu.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And they warn about, sex with robots, where it's like, well, if I applied myself just a little bit more, maybe I could, get it for cheaper, or whatever, take it out on the date and everything rather than spending the money on the robot. It's funny. But anyway, I digress.
I think we can go and wrap that up here. We're reaching our 30-minute mark here.
Yeah, well.
So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on the Prime Show. Let us know, please, in the comments below. Would you have sex with...
You were going to go there.
Would you have sex with an android? I don't know if I ever put my point in, but yes, I would, personally.
Well, I knew you would.
It's not, like I said, I think there's a difference. I don't think I'm suddenly going to develop a connection to a sex robot. But I don't know. I guess you could.
Right.
I can see it happening. I can understand their point, but
don't worry. We're gonna put in a photo of what's. I think this is Sophia, of what Sophia looks like. She does look quite realistic.
Yeah, without the hair, I'd be
hair.
okay with that. Like, it's fine. If you were to add a wig to her, I'd be like, okay, I'm suddenly uncomfortable. I could totally see that being a problem. So we'll go ahead and put that up. That'll be as a thumbnail most likely, or as a picture here for you. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back again. We did the 1 week, one Prime show a week for 3 weeks, and then we took a break and did it to 2 weeks, and we might be back next week. Well, I don't know. We're testing that.
Who knows?
Who fucking cares about the schedule anymore? All right,
Yeah, well,
we'll give you content every week.
Once again, we'll give a shout out to our missing in action occasional host now.
As we've all said
Anthony
before,
Romeo.
As we all said before, we all have outside lives and jobs, and sometimes things come up. And
he is officially an adult now. He has an adult job, and he makes adult money.
He's adult money.
He is saving for
He's
a sex
prostitute.
bot. He's saving for a sex bot right now.
He got himself an old-fashioned job, working the corners. All right.
Hey, it's the oldest profession.
Yeah. So he's got his own things going on right now, but we will have him back on ideally very soon here. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on The Prime Show. My name is David, this is Aaron, and we loved having you on. Please tune in again. Make sure you check out Debate the Hates we put out for these last 2 weeks with Pikachu, Naruto Dude, and Dewey Otter. We take on Pokemon, and we took on the Console Wars, PC, and all that. So thank you.
Pikachu.
Good night, everybody.
PCs and consoles, once again, they both have different markets, you know. When you're a power-hungry sort of dude, you want a PC, you want upgradability, you want that future-proof.